I was inspired to start the conference by the D.H. Lawrence Ranch, really, and I remember the occasion of sitting in the department chair's office, and he was trying to rope me into a project that another professor had started, and I said, well, I'd be glad to help with it, but it really wasn't anything I was interested in particularly, and if I was going to take up a project, that wouldn't be it. And so he said, well, if you were going to take up a project, what would that project be? And so right off the top of my head, I answered, I would start a writers' conference in Taos, New Mexico, and connect it to the D.H. Lawrence Ranch. And he said, that's a great idea. So that's how it started. The first faculty members for the Taos conference were really people that I knew and could twist their arms in one way or another. They were either friends of mine or they were friends of mine. And so the first person I asked to participate in the conference was Pam Houston. And Pam was a visiting writer here at UNM that particular semester. And so I said, you know, I'm thinking about starting a writers' conference, and this would have been the year before. And if I do that in Taos, would you come and teach? And she said she would. And so once I had one person on board, I then just took it from there. I also know Antonia Nelson for many years and met her at the University of Kansas, and she was living in Las Cruces, and her husband was there too, and so I called her up and asked her, and a good friend of mine from the University of Nebraska, John Asagi, my colleague, Louis Owens, who was a novelist and a scholar and a very charismatic man. And so basically it wasn't hard. It's never difficult to get people to come to Taos. That's been a great part of running the conference, is I say, do you want to go to Taos? And they say, yes, I do.
Why Taos? Well, there's magic here. I don't know if it's the mountains. I don't know if it's the light, or some combination of all. But the location is perfect. Why the Taos conference? Because there is an exciting dynamic that doesn't seem to exist at other places, in other gatherings of writers. And so it's exciting from that end. I'm just really very fortunate to be here and happy to spread the word.
You know, Taos is a special place, and it always has been. And Taos has been a major cultural crossroads for Pueblo and Plains people for many years, and Spanish people, and all kinds of people going through. And so there's, you know, it's a place of a lot of stories and a lot of poetry. I mean, the mountain makes poetry. There's all kinds of poetry.
I've always had a spot in my heart for the Southwest. I'm an Easterner, and I know Santa Fe and Taos had visited before, and I knew it would be really special. I happen to have my one tattoo is a George O'Keeffe deer skull on my arm here, and which I won't show you, but it's so of course Taos.
All right, I love teaching at Taos because, first of all, it's a really beautiful place. I think Sharon does an amazing job running it. In 15 years that she has served as executive director, it has grown and grown and grown, and not just in size, but in depth. I've had better students here than I have had at any other conference, summer conference that I've taught at, and I've taught at quite a few of them. I look forward to this all year long, and
I like to come to the Taos Summer Writers Conference because it's one of the most supportive group of writers in America, set in one of the most beautiful places in America.
The Taos Conference is really my favorite. I've taught at a number of conferences around the country, and the spirit here, the generosity, the talent, and the incredible place. You know, if you're not a spiritual person when you come to Taos, you leave as a spiritual person, and you leave the conference as a better writer, invigorated and ready to tackle that book project. So it's a great place. I'm so glad to be back.
When I got a chance to come to this conference, I jumped at it, and once I got here, I won't leave. So I've been 9 years in a row here, and I really do think. I mean, it's really it's like kind of like the highlight of my year. I love coming out here. My wife comes with me. My classes, the students here are the best in any conference in the country, so that says something for Sharon. And people come here willing to work and willing to listen to each other.
The abandoned bluffs, land sloping up above the river's bend, where now the Yazoo fills the Mississippi.